Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Not Takes podcast. Before we jump into today's discussion, I want to make it clear we're not experts, we're not critics, just a couple of friends with opinions. Our takes are ours alone, and we're here to dish them out, whether they resonate with you or not. So kick back, relax, and enjoy the show. Who knows, you might nod along with us, or maybe you'll disagree, and that's all part of the fun. We're all about having a good time and sharing our hot takes that should not be taken too seriously, as we're not professionals or experienced in any formal way. That's why this is called the Not Takes podcast. If you're new here, my name's Nicco, the creator and host of the Not Takes podcast. On the podcast, my friends and I dive into discussions ranging from the latest Marvel and DC projects to other exciting movies and TV shows. Marvel and DC content is heavily favored here, so if that's your jam, be sure to subscribe and follow us on all our socials. Got questions, suggestions, or just want to chat with us? You can shoot the pod a message on Instagram at Not Takes Podcast. That's all one word and all lowercase at NOTTAKESPODCAST. All our social links are in the description, and for our audio listeners, they're in the podcast bio. To give you something to look forward to on those typical miserable Mondays, the Not Takes podcast drops new episodes every Monday, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the Not Takes podcast. My name's Nicco, and today I'm joined, or should I say rejoined, with my good friend Alex. He was here for our very first episode, the Super-Pilot-Man. So, how's it feel to be back?
Excellent, bro. Especially on these special occasions, on this well-known event that we're going to go see later today.
Yep, this is episode 4, Super-Deadpool and Wolverine-Man. Today is Thursday, what is it? July 25th?
25th, yeah.
And today's the premiere day of Deadpool. Premiere night
10
of Deadpool and Wolverine. As of filming this episode, we are finally up to date. Last episode was filmed at the end of June and released last week, which was like mid-July. Yeah. With that being said, this episode is going to roll a little bit differently. We're gonna have a segment separately for predictions. It's gonna be like pre-rating with like reasons and expectations and other pros and cons I think we're gonna have before we see the movie. And then we'll have a spoilers and review segment where we address our predictions, new opinions, and review the movie. That'll be at the end of the episode, so for those of you that don't want spoilers, just listen carefully because there will be spoilers, but I'll make sure to announce it and let you guys know this way you're not walking into a spoiler fest. But like any other episode, we're going to start with our summits, slumps, and dumps. And in this segment, Alex and I are going to take turns giving you guys a high of the week, a low of the week, and then just something random that we want to get off our chest. So my summit is obviously pretty obvious. We're going to go see the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. We're seeing it tonight with a couple friends, so that should be fun. Slump, I got no I got no money for anything that I want to buy, and my financial aid for college has not come in yet.
Really been like that for real.
So, yeah, it's a bit of a struggling road right now, because bread is tight.
Bread is always tight, though.
And then my dump is that I'm moving into college. I think it's next weekend or the weekend after.
Next weekend?
Next weekend, yeah. Friday the 2nd.
Of August?
Yup.
I thought college started back up like late August.
Well, I'm doing like early drop off, so it's like I'm
okay.
dropping off my dorm room things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then moving day isn't until the 15th. Like I have to stay.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, damn, that's early, bro.
Yeah, I'm doing the early drop off. You want to do your some dumps?
Summit probably like the movie and stuff. Nothing else has been happening. Everything's just chill, working and stuff. I think it was dump. I told Nicco this yesterday. I want to go get some food, and behind the register there's this cute girl, and I'm like, what the fuck? This never happens. Why is there a cute girl behind the register at a McDonald's? What the fuck? Bruh, I kid you not. I get my drink, spill that shit all over my shirt. Mind you, I also have a Spider-Man shirt on. I was cooked from the start, bruh, and I'm like, I lose aura points. Like, what is the point anymore?
Dude
lost
10,000 aura,
What
bro.
is the point?
And that's not even the first time that's happened. That's like the second
no,
time.
No, yeah. Because we went to... Okay, the first time wasn't my fault, though. It was like some...
Yeah, it was the cup. So
yeah,
this kid... So we went to Zaxby's one day for lunch, and Zaxby's has like these like styrofoam cups they give you, and as soon as this guy goes to take a sip from his cup, it just shatters in his hands.
And like the employees are like, did your cup just break?
No, they weren't even like that. They're like, did it happen again?
Yeah, they were like if it was like common, and then we walked to this guy's car, and there's a cup shattered on the ground, like riddled with ice and like I don't know some orange juice, and I'm like,
Yeah,
what
so
the
the,
fuck,
the
bro?
car in the parking lot that was parked next to me, I guess they had the same
Yeah,
issue because the cup was shattered on the ground,
yeah.
like on my side of the car.
I don't know
It
what
was
happened to
hilarious.
Zaxby's, bro.
Zaxby's is just going downhill,
I
bro.
swear, bro.
Dude, and the guy tried to be like all chill. He was
And
like,
he's like, I
"Hey,
get
you
you a
want?"
new cup.
Yeah,
I'm like, nah, bro. I'm just trying to fucking leave, bro.
Dude, I felt so bad because there was an employee there.
Yeah, she just finished cleaning.
She
I
was-
just
she
made
was-
a whole new mess.
She was sweeping the floor like just finished, and then all you hear is.
Yeah, literally. I was just standing there like, what the fuck?
All right, moving on to our not take segment. This is the segment that's really just what the podcast is all about. And in this segment, this is where me and Alex take turns giving a hot take, but it is a take not to be taken too seriously because we are not professionals or otherwise experienced. So
That's why it's called a not take.
that is why it's called the
Not.
Not Takes
Not.
podcast. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. My not take for at least this episode is I don't like the recent adaptation of Spider Noir. I don't really like it.
I
It's
like
like-
that. I like that. I like that take.
It's just like at least in the ones in the Spider-Verse movies, I just think it's just like I get it's a child like I guess teenage preteen like movie, and so they're trying to like dumb it down. But like out of like all the Spider-Men, I'd say he's like the more out of all of them. His comic book line is for more for like mature
Yeah.
people because like he literally shoots people, and I'm pretty sure he kills too. Like I don't think he has like a non-kill rule or anything, and he's fighting Nazis. Like, and then like just for him to like you see him on the big screen and he's like wondering how a Rubik's cube works, and I'm like,
So
fuck.
is your problem with the live action or the one from Spider-Verse?
Just one for Spider-Verse. 'Cause I feel like
Spider-Verse?
I feel like nowadays that's what everybody knows him by instead of
Yeah,
like the
oh,
old version.
yeah.
Like I know him by like Shattered Dimensions and stuff like that by
Right.
the video games, and like how he was like super cool and like super like
Yeah. And then,
nonchalant and mysterious.
Yeah,
like
that-
now
that-
everybody's like thinks he's like some like weird dude that doesn't know much about the future or whatever, and I'm like,
yeah,
I really like it.
I knew him from Shadow Dimensions as well, but then like after that I saw him in the what's it called? Disney XD's Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah,
they-
yeah.
When they had like the whole multiverse crossover thing.
Yeah,
And
that
it was-
version of him was pretty cool too. But then like,
But speaking of Spider Noir, they're making a live action one on Amazon Prime with Nicolas Cage.
yeah, I'm
But-
actually not too excited, but
I'm interested in it.
Yeah,
'cause
I'm
I don't
interested.
know how they're gonna do that because Nicolas Cage
Right.
is one. He's really old now,
yeah.
and I feel like it's gonna be more of like a detective thing than it is gonna be
But
like.
I feel like that'd be so cool.
Yeah,
Seeing,
it
like,
would
a
be cool,
Spider-Man
but
detective
I feel like
side.
it's not gonna
Yeah.
be as much action and as
No,
much.
definitely not.
I feel like it's gonna be like a Batman.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I feel like it's gonna be more of a Batman like Spider-Man portrayed show than anything.
Yeah, but I'm still excited to see that.
I'm still gonna
though.
watch it, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so interested
Hopefully.
to see where they take it.
I feel like it's gonna be one of those shows where it's gonna be like it's slow for the first 2 episodes, and then
Oh,
like the
definitely.
next episode's gonna be like, oh
Definitely.
shit.
yeah, Amazon tends to do that a lot, especially
Yeah.
with like The Boys and Invincible.
Yeah, Invincible was definitely hard to,
Yeah,
or not hard, but like definitely slow to get into because you don't get hooked until the end
yeah,
of the first
basic-
episode.
Yeah, basically, and then their bi-yearly releases of episodes and seasons.
Oh my god, dude. Freaking
Ridiculous.
season 2. I hate when
Season
shows
2,
do that.
Part 2 is coming out in 3 months from now. Like,
Yeah, and then they're like, oh,
Brother.
just kidding. It's
Yeah.
gonna be half a year
yeah,
now.
okay, buddy. And then what are we waiting on? Season 4 or season 3?
3.
3. That's coming out later this year, I think.
Is it?
I think so. Like
I thought it was-
November,
I thought it was,
December.
I thought it was gonna be one of those 2026 releases.
I think they
Everything's
said,
getting released in 2026 now.
I think they said. Oh my god, yes, and I hate it so much, so much. So yeah, everything's getting released in 2026, and I hate it. The one thing I'm like super excited to watch though this coming year is probably the new Spider-Verse movie that they were gonna release this year or last year. When did the second one come out?
I think
2023.
yeah, it's supposed to come out this year.
They were gonna release
It was supposed to come out like today last year. Or
Really?
Was it the 15th? It was like something like that. It was between the 15th and 27th.
June.
It was supposed
It
to be.
was supposed to be this month.
it was
yeah.
supposed to be this
I think
month.
it was supposed to be like the 16th or 17th. I'm pretty sure,
It was something like that.
something like that.
But yeah, it was supposed to be out like this time this year. But now
But
it's
then-
not coming out until 2026.
Yeah. What? I thought it was coming out next year.
No, there's no way. There's no way. I mean, here we can look it up, but like I doubt it.
I'm looking it up right now. No, I've been so excited for 2025 for just that reason.
No release date is set for Beyond the Spider-Verse. At one point, the movie was set for March 2024, but the amount of work required to complete Across the Spider-Verse, combined with the dual writer and actors strikes of 2023, meant that the movie could
Literally.
never be ready for that release window.
I think what just makes me more mad is that like as we finish the movie, they're like, yeah, part two coming out in 3 months, and we're just like, ooh, and then it didn't come out in 3 months, and it's been like a year
Yeah.
now, and then like just false advertising, bro. What the hell?
Yeah, no, because I think it was like beginning of this year. There was like there was like a red carpet thing, and someone asked Haley Steinfeld like, "Oh, when's the
Is it the
next
voice actor
Spider
for Gwen
Verse?"
Stacy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was like the interviewer was like, "So when's the next movie for Spider Verse coming out?" And she's like, "Oh, I have no idea. I haven't even been called to
Do lines?
do
Yeah,
lines
I
yet."
saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
So,
Yeah, and I saw that, and I was like,
bruh.
oh god, bro, like, what the fuck? Pissed me off because I'm so passionate about it.
All right, so your not take is that the portrayal of Spider Noir and Spider Verse is poor.
Yep.
All right. My not take is that Iron Man 2 is my favorite Iron Man movie out of the Iron Man trilogy. I'm not saying it's the
I
best.
think you can say it's the best though.
I would say I'm definitely saying it's underrated, but
Definitely, yeah.
but Iron Man 1's the best.
Eh,
I don't know if it's a nostalgia thing or
I
what,
think it
but
must be a
Iron Man
nostalgia
1
thing.
was the
I
best
think Spider-Man.
cuz
Spider-Man. Iron Man 2 is the best.
Iron Man looked like like Robert Downey RDJ looked the most like Tony Stark in the first
In the
one.
first,
The
yeah, I can agree
second
with
one,
that. Yeah,
he just kept getting less and less like him as the movies went on.
I can
But
see that. Yeah,
that goes on with him being like older and everything.
but yeah, I feel like that makes sense though because as you see him like progress throughout the movies, I think his ego goes a little bit more down. Like he's more like
Yeah, because now he's
yeah,
around more
yeah,
people
yeah.
that
So like in
he
the
has to
first one,
rely
his
on.
ego is so crazy. So like yeah, I can see how you say like it portrays more like Tony Stark because that guy's ego is insane, brother.
Dude, the beginning of the first movie when he's with what's her name, Christina, whatever the interviewer,
Yeah, yeah,
and he's
yeah,
like, "So you've been called the Da Vinci of our time. How does that make you feel?" And he's like, "Ridiculous. I don't paint." And he was
yeah.
like,
Like bro,
what about the Merchant of Death?" That one's not that bad. I kind of like that one,
like bro.
dude. Yeah, that's why I love the first one. There are, of course, there's some like some lows on the first one. Like I said, that one episode, I think it was episode 1 or 2, but I would say that there wasn't enough Stark Industries in the movie.
There really wasn't. There's only for like the first movie.
There was probably like a total of 5 minutes
Yeah,
of
maybe.
Tony Stark
Yeah.
Industries or of Stark Industries. But yeah, if I had to rank the Iron Man movies, I'd rank them the second one, first one, and the third one, just in favoritism. Um, very agreeably, Iron Man 3 is the worst one.
No, definitely.
It's so bad. Like we have the Mandarin twist. Like it wasn't really. It was
Yeah.
terrible. I don't like Aldrich Killian is not the Mandarin. You're
Yeah,
not gonna.
literally.
You can't do that to me.
I've watched that movie maybe like 5 times, and I like even now I can't even tell you like half of the plot at all.
Yeah,
It's
it's
super
terrible.
unmemorable.
Tony Stark's characterization, with like the PTSD storyline, it was not handled with enough depth or sensitivity at all,
Oh,
and
definitely
like
not.
it reduced like a potential like sensitive topic
Yeah.
for Tony Stark. He only had like 5 minutes worth of PTSD talk, and then
Right.
out of
Yeah.
nowhere he doesn't have PTSD anymore.
Yeah. They definitely
Um,
missed like a whole chance of like character lore development or stuff like that.
yeah, literally.
Especially, and it could have been used like way further down the line too.
Yeah, and then there was an overuse of humor. Like same thing with MCU Thor. It's just everything about the character is now just a joke.
Yeah.
Um, although humor is like a trademark of the MCU, Iron Man 3 leaned too heavily on the jokes and quips, and like at times undermined the tension and stakes of the story. Just like it's similar to like how for MCU Thor, all the trauma and hardships that Thor went through that like built his
Yeah.
built
Yeah.
his character in air quotes is all one big joke now. Like it's
That I
just
can see that.
it's
Yeah.
such a it's not really
Especially
something
with
that you should put humor on.
yeah, especially with Jane Foster, and then she came back, and then they're like, yeah, and he was like,
Dude, and he has more relationship with his hammer than he
yeah,
does with Jane
yes,
Foster.
yes, yes, and then like he was just like, I cried for so many years for you. She's like, oh well, I'm back now, and they're just like, and then like, bro, what? And then like I remember she was like giggling as she said it, and I'm like, I don't think you really understand like what he meant by that, bro.
Yeah. Some positives for Iron Man 2 just to get just to get away from the anti Iron Man 3. Tony Stark's arc was so good.
It
The
was good.
Iron Man 2 dived deeper into Tony's struggle with his identity as Iron Man and his mortality, and it set up like crucial elements for his character development in like future Marvel films.
Especially in the was it the opening scene where they open up in the courthouse?
For Iron Man 2?
Yeah, yeah,
Well, no,
yeah.
Iron Man 2 opened up with him jumping out of the plane in the Stark Expo. And then
Oh, right.
and
But
then
like I'm saying, like in the courthouse scene, it definitely shows
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
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 It definitely shows there because he's like, it's not a weapon.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that. I love that scene where he's like showing up the what's his name, like the senator. What was
yeah,
he? The
yeah, yeah. I
president.
don't remember. I just remember him looking like he had a very punchable face. That's all I remember.
Yeah. And then we also get the introduction of Black Widow and War Machine.
True. Yeah.
And then we get the racetrack scene, which is like the
Yeah.
best
Yeah. That
part.
was the best scene.
I
Yeah.
mean, the suitcase, the suit in the suitcase is the best suit up scene
It is. Yeah.
we've ever gotten.
Ever.
And that's like my favorite. That's my favorite suit. I love the silver and red.
Yeah. I think I'd say what would come close to that is like probably Doctor Strange in that one scene where he's like
Oh, with
he
the
has the
cape,
cape it,
with the
yeah, and
cape.
he's like whoosh. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
I'm trying to think like what other ones do we have?
There's Tony Stark with his nanotech.
Oh yeah, that's like second
Um,
best. That's like runner up for Iron Man
I think I would
transitions.
say top five is definitely Iron Spider 2 when he first gets the suit in
Yeah,
Infinity War and he's like falling and you can see it
yeah,
like
yeah. Yeah.
creep up on his body and he's like, wait, wait, wait. He's like, it smells like a brand new car in here. Yeah,
I'm trying to think like what other ones we had.
I don't think there's a lot.
There's like the
Or Black Panther.
oh Black
Black
Panther
Panther's one was pretty
when he's
cool.
running
Yeah,
and
and
then
like
he
his
jumps on
like
top of the car.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and his
yeah,
like clothes like
yeah.
rip off. Yeah, that was pretty
That's
sick.
awesome. And then we also have like the one with like Thor and Loki and Thor Ragnarok where like Thor like slams his hammer on the ground like lightning strikes.
Oh
And he
yeah,
turns
yeah, yeah,
into it.
yeah, yeah. That was pretty cool. Yeah,
What else is there?
I really can't remember.
Can't remember. Like that's how clean they are though. They're
Yeah,
so
yeah, true,
clean that
yeah.
they're like it just goes over your head. Like,
Yeah.
you don't even notice it.
I think I'd say something in Eternals, but I genuinely cannot remember that movie.
I
It was
can't
so
remember
bad.
anything about
Yeah.
Eternals. Eternals is such a bad movie, dude. Is there like a clean Hulk transition? I mean,
Then Avengers 1.
in Avengers
Yeah,
One, he was
Avengers
like,
1,
"I'm
where he's
always
like, I'm always
angry."
angry. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, the slow motion
Yeah.
is great.
I think that'd be it, though. I can't really remember anything else.
Yeah,
Because, like, all the other guys, like, use regular, like, dare I say, costumes. But,
yeah,
yeah.
just like regular like
Yeah. Like,
yeah,
Spider-Man was a costume guy, then, like, he got the Stark suit, so.
yeah, which they just like
Yeah, no, which is, like, I feel like that's not even addressed as the costume because like it like the way he puts it on and uses it is super cool because then like
yeah.
it starts off flabby and he goes like this and
yeah,
he's like
it's
that's so cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a onesie that he can
Yeah.
just like automatically like
yeah,
fits to his
exactly.
Yeah,
That's
I love
so
that.
cool.
And then so back onto Iron Man 2. A part that I love and hate was Justin Hammer as a villain. He was very underdeveloped in the movie, but he was still a great like fun and sleazy contrast to Tony Stark.
That's very valid though because yeah, no, definitely because he was definitely like a what they call it in English terms a great foil to Iron Man. Yeah, yeah, he like basically did everything like because like in a way with like seeing Iron Man and like Hammer without either suits, I feel like Hammer is more pathetic than like Tony because Tony's
Yeah.
like yeah people say you're
'Cause
nothing with the suit but like if it were come down to it and they were like fist fight or something Tony would go on top like every
Yeah.
single time.
Dude, he was jacked in Iron Man 2, bro.
Oh yeah, he was.
Dude,
he was.
when he was making his own arc reactor, like, and he had his like his
Yeah, yeah,
arms
yeah.
wrapped around the wrench and trying
His
to twist it.
biceps and
Dude,
forearms were crazy.
His tricep was peaking, bro. So yeah, that does it for our not take segment. Now we're gonna move on to our prediction segment for Deadpool and Wolverine. In this segment, we're just gonna rally off ideas, predictions, stuff like that. Um, let's give like a pre-rating first. What would you pre-rate the movie?
10 out of 10.
You think it's gonna be
Not gonna
10?
lie. Either 10 out of 10 or a 9.5.
Like you don't 9.5?
Yeah.
I can see. Yeah, I might give it like an 8.5 or a 9 cuz it's going to be very I feel like they're going to try and like they're going to overdo this movie. They're going to oversell it. They're going to
Yeah.
try doing too
Yeah.
much in this
Because
movie.
ultimately, I feel like if it's not going to be good, its downfall was the multiverse. Because like
yeah, the multiverse
they
ruins everything.
yeah, they're
dude.
just doing way too much with it at this point.
Like, it's
'Cause
a-
then
The multiverse is a great concept until they start
and like they're at this point they're just milking it because
Yeah,
like it was No Far From Home or No Way Home, then it was Multiverse of Madness, and then it was
Loki.
Loki, and then it was I think WandaVision too.
WandaVision didn't really
Did
deal
it
with the
not?
multiverse. No,
Didn't I know it like branched into it a little bit though, or like it talked about it somewhat. Did it not?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Then not WandaVision. I know Loki, Multiverse of Madness,
No Way
then No Way
Home.
Home, and then now we got also the
Oh, what
Spider
if?
Verse. Yeah, What If too. Yeah, and then that also came in like it was supposed to be like there were supposed to be all single stories, and then Ultron was like nah, and then just like
Yeah.
combined or whatever. Like was
Yeah, no,
going.
I liked
I
how they
like
did
that.
What
Yeah,
If,
yeah. But
how
like
we saw different stories, different universes,
right,
and then
yeah,
they all had to come
yeah,
together.
right. But now it's just like you're seeing it everywhere now. It's more like a
Yeah, yeah, you're right. They're definitely milking it,
yeah,
but I especially hate it when they start like going outside their own like rules. Like
right.
you can't say this one thing. I just slapped the mic in the face, bro. You can't say this one thing and then do something that contradicts that, because then it's like now we got loopholes.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now it's like
Especially yeah.
unresolved
I know what you mean.
whatever. But yeah, I feel like I feel like they're gonna do too much. That's why I don't want to give it like a 10 out of 10. But
That's
hopefully it
hella
is a
though.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, hopefully it is.
What are your expectations going to this movie? Like, how are you like feeling going to this movie? Because what I would say is I'm like cautiously optimistic because I know
Me
it's gonna
too,
be a good
yeah.
movie, but I don't want to be
Yeah.
so optimistic about it that I get let down. It's
Yeah,
like,
right.
oh
Yeah,
great,
yeah. I just feel like since it's a multiverse thing, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of cameos, like unnecessary cameos. Like I wouldn't mind like having little hints and drops of like things that like real people like from reading comics would know. Like I don't know, something like Gwenpool. Like not even like maybe they're going to like a comic book store or something. You can see it in the background, like little
hmm
teasers like that,
yeah,
or like maybe they see like I don't want to see this, but like maybe they see Spider Man, but in the comic books, Deadpool and Spider Man have like a really good like chemistry for
yeah,
no reason,
yeah,
and like Deadpool so desperately wants to be Spider Man's friend, but like he doesn't care because
yeah,
Deadpool kills. Like he's like Deadpool's the whole opposite of Spider Man, and he has nothing to do with him. But like maybe like they're like in a little scene, you see like Deadpool go like or some dumb shit like
well,
that. It'd
no,
be something
we
so
see that. Oh
stupid.
my god, I slapped the mic again. We know we do see that. There's a trailer where Wolverine and Deadpool are in a car together, and Deadpool's like pew pew
Really? Yeah. Really?
with the Spider-Man action, yeah, hand
Really?
gesture, yeah.
Oh, really?
He's like pew pew pew,
That'd be really. Oh shit! Well,
and
I
then
guess I guess I will see. That'd be really cool.
and then
Yeah.
Wolverine's like, can you stop doing that? And then Deadpool just goes pew, like one last time just to egg him on. But you know that is in there.
Stuff like that, or like things that dive into their lore, like other suit variants. I'd say
Yeah,
like the gray and black one with the red eyes or Deadpool, because I know Wolverine also has one, or even his daughter, because I know in a
Daphne
recent
Keene.
yeah I know in a recent trailer, I know she popped up the red carpet too. I saw that.
Yeah, yeah, she was like
She
signing autographs to
yeah
people. Yeah,
yeah
yeah,
yeah. I know like they're doing some type of cameo with her, and like because they had it in a trailer, and they was like you're like not the Wolverine that I know, because
mm-hmm.
like obviously like they're different, but
It's
like
like, I'm not
like
the right guy. He's like,
yeah
you're
right
never the right guy
yeah
until you
like
were.
yeah like stuff like that, but like stuff that will make sense to have
Yeah,
like in like the movie, not like some random stuff like oh look it's
yeah,
Doctor Strange, like don't do that,
yeah.
don't do that.
So while we're on the topic of cameos, who do you want to see and who don't you want to see?
um some X-Men would be pretty cool, like I don't know like Storm or maybe Colossus would be pretty funny. I feel like
Colossus, he's probably gonna be in it
he's
too,
probably
but
yeah, he probably will
he's
be,
probably gonna
but probably
be
not for the right reasons though.
he's
Like
probably gonna be in
yeah
there for like the first 5 minutes,
yeah,
along with Blind Owl and all of them.
or like even Gambit or something like that. That would be pretty
Yeah,
sick.
yeah,
That'd be pretty sick. Or like I don't know, like something like comic book accurate Gambit, like Gambit, like with
Gambit.
like yeah with like the cloak and the green stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like from like
Um.
X-Men '93. That'd be pretty cool.
What? So who don't you want to see?
Uh, Probably like the main people we have in MCU right now. Like I don't know,
Like Tom
Captain
Holland, Spider
yeah,
Man,
Tom
and
Holland Spider Man, or
yeah,
like Captain America. What's his name? The new Captain America, Falcon America.
Falcon.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. Or Hulk. I don't know. I
Yeah,
just don't want
you
to
don't
see
want to
them.
see the current plot
Yeah,
line.
cause Deadpool it has nothing to do with the MCU until now.
Yeah,
So like I don't want to see like
it
all this
won't.
like stuff that's built up till now, because this is basically a whole different story, and like they're trying to build off of it, trying to combine it some way. But I don't want it to be like I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it, but I just don't want to see like the new
Yeah,
MCU
you
stuff
you don't
right
you
now.
want you don't want them to overuse
Yeah, yeah,
cameos
yeah,
like in the Flash how they were bringing back everybody like the Ezra
yeah,
Miller's Flash they were bringing back
yeah,
everybody like
yeah.
George
Like,
Clooney and
bro,
everything like
yeah,
why you it's just a cameo fest I don't
yeah,
need
right.
this.
But like, I feel like the best way that like, especially Flash that like did a cameo. Is that what you were talking about in the Flash show?
Hmm.
In the Flash show, they had that one episode where the Flash TV show from CW met the one from the movies.
Oh, Ezra Miller.
Yes, and it was like 30 seconds long,
Yeah, it was
but that was
so
the best.
random.
Yeah, but it was the best type of cameo I've ever seen in my life. Though it was like it was so good. They're just like,
Yeah, it wasn't.
oh, and
Yeah,
he's
it
like, oh
wasn't.
my god, your suit has armor. He's like, oh my god, your suit looks so flexible and nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought that was really cool, and it was
yeah,
like just like little stuff like that. Like,
yeah. It was a good nod to
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh my god,
yeah,
they
yeah,
both know they're both the
yeah, yeah,
Flash.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's like stuff like that, but it was like super cool and simple, and it was super random, but like, but that's what I guess what the movie's about. Like super random, but it's like it was only 30 seconds. It
yeah.
was no more than that, and it wasn't built on furthermore. Like,
Right,
and that was it. Yeah,
right. Yeah. So cameos I want to see are number one, Fantastic Four.
that'd be really
I
cool.
want
Yeah,
to see the Fantastic Four in there.
or at least a new Reed Richards.
I want to see either Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards or the original not original, but like the first time you saw Reed Richards, with Chris Evans as the Human Torch. That one.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
thought you were gonna say what's his name.
I forgot. I don't know his
The other
actor's
one.
name.
I don't know who you talk.
I don't
I
want
know who it
Miles
is.
Teller. I don't want to see Miles Teller as Reed Richards ever again.
Yeah,
Ever again.
yeah,
Fan Four Stick was like the worst
yeah.
iteration
It
of the
was.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, yeah.
Other than
I
the
feel like
thing,
everybody can disagree on that.
the thing looked great
Oh yeah.
in that movie. But other than that, I didn't like that movie at all. Um. So yeah, I want to see the Fantastic Four. I want to see, um, I want to see Chris Evans, but as the Human Torch. I want to see him like, I want like Deadpool to be like, oh my god, look, it's Captain America,
And then be like, what are you talking about?
and then Chris Evans is like, who? And then just flames on
Yeah,
and burns
right.
his clothes, and then
That'd
you
be
see
pretty sick.
then you
Yeah,
see the Fantastic Four emblem on his shirt.
that'd be pretty sick. Yeah, especially since it's like a whole new multiverse. Because like Tom Holland's Spider Man is the only verse that has Avengers, and then because of
Yeah,
that one scene, they're just
yeah,
like, I've been in the Avengers. They're just like, oh, is that a band? Like that'd
yeah,
be super cool to see. Yeah, especially since like in other verses, like the Avengers or like stuff like that aren't a thing.
right.
Yeah, that'd be really cool to see.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
And then I want to see it would. I think it would be funny if we see Robert Downey Jr. in the movie, but as Robert Downey Jr., not
Yeah.
as Iron Man. Like Deadpool would be like, "Oh my god, look, it's Iron Man!"
Yeah, and he's like,
And RDJ's
bro,
sitting there
what?
like what? Like like drinking coffee. Like,
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
yeah,
Takes a
right.
sip. He's like that. So
That'd
I
be
think
pretty
something that
cool.
would be funny. I do want to see like little nods and references to other heroes as well.
Yeah,
Like I said, like the Spider-Man thing, the pew pew,
yeah, yeah,
like that
yeah.
that makes sense, and that would be cool for like other characters.
Or like
Um,
even like video game references, because I know like you ever play Marvel versus Capcom,
no,
bro. It's like literally just Marvel universe versus like the Capcom universe is like a video game, and in the game he like says like quotes and stuff, and he says like stuff like Hadouken. That's like from Street Fighter. That's like not even having to do with anything, but like him just saying that just makes it so fun. And then even in the Deadpool game, yeah, I should. I'm almost done with it. I'm gonna let you get
yeah,
it back. You should play it because
yeah,
it has a lot of funny references that like you would never see. But like it's Deadpool though, and he's constantly breaking the fourth wall and like mentioning other things that like
mhm,
don't exist, but obviously he knows because he's like but shit crazy. But like
right,
right, but it makes it so much funnier that because you know what it means. But like other
mhm,
people are like, what is this guy on about, bro?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. For those of you that don't know,
this dude
I
after like
had a Deadpool video game for my
yeah,
Xbox just stashed away in like the back of my cabinet,
and I
and I'm
was
like,
geeked.
I was like, oh shit, I have a Deadpool video game, and this kid's like obsessed with Deadpool, so I was like, oh, you can borrow it if you'd like. I haven't played
Bro,
it at all.
it's so much fun. It's so
Yeah.
much fun.
But another cameo I'd like to see in the movie would be Eric Bana's Hulk, the 2003 Hulk.
Oh, the like, yeah, the
That would
old
be
one.
cool to
Yeah,
see.
yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah,
Um, I'd like to see Tobey Maguire Spider Man again.
I feel like that meeting would be really funny.
Yeah.
It'd be really really funny.
Um,
I'm not really hoping for it. Like if it's not there, I'm not gonna be disappointed.
right. Yeah, no, not at all. I wonder if they're gonna do a Stan Lee cameo sort of thing.
I feel like they would, but like if they were,
Probably
it would probably be like in a comic book form.
not even that, but it'd probably be like just like some random old guy and it's just like a back shot.
Maybe, yeah.
Pause. It would just be like a shot of like
'Cause I
the back
know-
of his head.
Bro, I just got that because I know Stanley is also very a heavy lenient of Deadpool too. Like he was
Yeah.
very involved with him and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like they kind of have to pay tribute to that.
Yeah. So we know we're gonna see Daphne Keane.
Yeah, they already said that or they put in the trailer. That's what I don't like too. By the way,
What
they
you
ever
don't?
bring that up? That like movies don't make a lot. Like they make too many trailers.
Yeah, it
I feel
like
like I think someone.
well, this is a big movie. Like they're
I
gonna
guess
give
yeah,
us like
but
as much as possible without spoiling it.
I don't
But
remember what director I saw on Instagram that he said like he's like with the idea of only releasing one trailer for a movie.
no, that would kill me. I
I
mean,
don't
I
know.
wouldn't mind if it's like different.
But it builds up the hype and it builds up the mystery behind the movie, which is like the whole
Yeah,
point you're going to go see it. But
yeah,
like obviously like the trailers in Deadpool they did it really well because I still have no idea what the fuck I'm walking into. All
right.
I know is just multiverse and they have the low key people from there and
Yeah,
that's it. And like maybe some people are coming out from out of nowhere, Sabretooth, whatever.
yeah,
But like
yeah.
I
That's
still have
right.
no
Yeah,
idea.
they're bringing back a lot of the old
Yeah.
X Men characters. The
But
TVA.
like finding that out in the seat though in the movie theater would be so cool instead of behind my phone on my bed at 3 a.m.
Mm,
Like bro,
I mean, yeah, no, you're definitely right with this trailers. Like, there are a lot of movies that pretty much give you the entire movie within trailers. Like,
right? Yeah.
I forgot what movie it came out recently. I think it was like the very first Spider Verse movie. Across the Spider Verse was that Into the Spider Verse was the first one, right?
Into the Spider Verse, the first one.
Yeah.
Across
So
was
for the first one, like they in the out of all the trailers they gave you, like they pretty much gave you the first like hour of the movie in the trailer.
oh I remember what you're talking about. Yeah,
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 that's what I didn't like about that. Is like I'm like already seen all this,
right, yeah.
but that's what.
No, they had like 5 minute clips. I think it was like I know what you're talking about, especially the one where he's running away with like unconscious Peter B. Parker,
Yeah,
and it's like the whole scene. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, so these cameos are either going to be really good or
or
really bad.
really, really bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's gonna be an in between either.
I want to see what they do with the TVA because
Oh
that's
yeah,
what
me
this
too.
entire
Yeah,
thing is.
and especially pulling that out in general is really bold, especially
Yeah.
after Loki.
I mean, that's how you're going to do this. If you're going to do
No,
this movie,
yeah,
that's how you're going to do it.
no, yeah.
Because the
But that's what
TVA
I'm,
is already in
yeah.
Marvel.
So that's what
So,
I'm saying though, because like Loki was such a good show, and like it's really bold for them to pull out such a like a big like thing in our like Marvel MCU right now,
yeah.
and like throw Deadpool and Wolverine in the mix of it. So I feel like
Yeah.
that's a really bold and like brave thing to do. But like I feel like they're gonna nail it though.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
have a high,
yeah.
very
'Cause
confident in
if
it though.
that's, if you're going to do it, this is the
Yeah.
way to do it. They're
Yeah,
definitely
right.
doing it. They're definitely hitting the nail on
mark,
the head
yeah.
here. So, anything else you want to predict before we go see this movie?
No, not really. Really excited for that Wolverine popcorn basket. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
So with cameos that are going to be in the movie, who do you so we see Dogpool and we see
Lady Pool.
Ladypool.
Right.
Yeah. Who do you think Lady Deadpool is going to be? Do you think it's going to be Vanessa who's in the movie, like who's like his like love interest, or do you think it's going to be I think it's going to be his like actual wife in real life. I think it's going to be Blake Lively.
I think it would be better. It would make more sense for it to be the girlfriend from the movie,
Mhm.
but I feel like it would be 100 times better if it was the wife because
It's
in the
100
comic
times
books,
better.
I think she also has blonde hair too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it would make more sense, and they would have to like make the actor blonde, whatever, or
Right.
maybe not, and just go with the brunette. But like
Yeah.
comically speaking, like in a like from comic book standards, it would be better for her to be like the wife would be Deadpool, and it also make like a lot of sense. And I feel like they also have like the same sense of humor.
Mhm.
Like they're basically like
Right.
they're
They're
basically the same
Deadpools.
people. Yeah, they're basically the same people, like just different genders. So it'd be like it fits so well, basically.
Yeah. The only thing, one of the negatives of going to see this movie is that we bought our tickets like what was it, like a month and a
It was,
half
like
in
3 weeks
advance.
before, yeah.
And
I
when
think
we
we
bought,
were filming. We were filming either filming episode 1 or 2 during
no,
the
it
time.
was
Was it 2?
we were filming
Yeah, it was
episode
2
two.
because Diego was there and he was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go watch with my other friends." And we
Yeah,
were
because
like,
he wants to watch
yeah.
it in 4D.
Yeah,
I feel like 4D ruins movies because like I mean, yeah,
I feel like it really depends though.
it's a great experience,
No, yeah.
but then it takes away from the movie because now you're like, oh shit, I felt that, and
No,
it
yeah.
kind of distracts
Yeah.
you from
No,
the movie.
but like, I feel like it really depends. If you watch Batman in 4D, it
Yeah,
was crazy.
Yeah, like-
insane, actually insane. Especially that scene when the car flips and you
You feel
feel
it.
every rumble. I was
Yeah.
geeked, bro. I was like, oh my god, you see
Nah.
that man walking.
I feel like I throw
The
a,
aura
I
was
feel like I
insane.
throw a freaking punch at the chair, bro. I'm like, shut up. But yeah, But anyway, like I was saying, we bought our tickets like a month and a half in advance, and when we bought our tickets, we were trying to like secure seats for our friends to buy their tickets. So I bought a ticket for me, and then three seats to my right, I bought another ticket to kind of sandwich two seats in between us, two open seats in between us.
Is that how we bought it?
Yeah, that's how we
Yeah.
bought it. But as we were trying to like tell our friends to go buy the tickets for the two seats, they took so long that people already bought the seats in
No way,
between
in between
us.
us?
Yeah,
You're lying.
no. So what I'm trying to what I hope happens when we get there is that we can just ask the person that sits next to
Yeah.
me.
Like, hey, can you switch like literally one seat down?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then because I mean we have that ticket, no one else is sitting in that
Right,
seat
right.
next to them,
Right.
so hopefully they're okay with that swap.
I mean, yeah.
I don't
Hopefully.
know what seat Alex bought, but I hope he bought a decent seat
No, yeah.
because I'm not trying to ask like everybody around us to swap
Yeah,
seats.
yeah, because that'll definitely be a nuisance and whatnot.
I just hope that this theater is like how it was when we went to go see Across the Spider Verse. Like everybody was like reacting and everyone was like, "Whoa!"
No, yes.
and
Oh my
laughing.
God, yes. Please,
No,
please, please.
I know the comedy in this movie is gonna be great. That's another
No,
pro
yeah.
of this movie is that the comedy is gonna be insanely funny. But I just hope that there's not that one lady or guy that just laughs like
No, seriously, dude. I
because
remember.
because if that happens, I'm laughing the same
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
I'm gonna mock their
No,
laugh.
yeah. No, because I remember. I feel like that's the one thing that I don't like watching movies in theaters is that people don't react, and people just watch it. Like, especially Spider Man. People watch Spider Man for Tom Holland, but like,
Yeah,
obviously, I'm there because I'm like Spider Man's
Spider
been my
Man.
hero since I
Yeah,
was like 3 years old. So
yeah.
like, yeah. But like, I remember we were watching No Way Home, and me and Alex were like literally tweaking in our seats, like, oh my God, look, it's who and who and who, and like we were like, because when
Yes,
that portal
dude.
opens, yes, and we were like, oh my God, it's this and this and that, and like we were like guessing everyone there, and everybody
Yeah,
in the quiet,
yeah. No,
and everyone was quiet, and that made me so disappointed because I was just like, is no one else like enjoying this like how I am?
right.
And then, but we want to go watch Across the Spider Verse, and people were like, oh my God, it's Scarlet Spider. I was like, yes, you
Dude, and
understand.
after the movie was over for Across the Spider Verse, there was like a dad that sat in front of us, and he turned around and was like, "I loved your guys'
Yes, yeah,
reactions."
yes, that made my day,
Yeah,
dude. No, because like watching those movies, I knew like almost every single one of those
right.
characters,
Yeah,
dude.
exactly. There
Yeah,
was
and I was
Spider Man
like,
Unlimited,
yes,
Spectacular
oh my God,
Spider Man.
Spider-Man Unlimited was such an amazing, and then Spectacular Spider-Man his cameo and he said something.
Yeah, like
Oh my God, dude, it was amazing.
small, but like enjoyable
Yes,
cameos like
dude,
that is
yes,
what I want to see in Deadpool.
exactly, bro. And it's just like stuff like that, and like what had me like jumping out of my chair, bro.
Yes. And then what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, with No Way Home, you guys didn't have an exciting theater either. You didn't have a very
No,
yeah.
we went together, didn't we?
No, we
No, we
didn't.
didn't. No, it
No.
was me, Glenn. He brought like a girl, or whatever. And me and
Oh
Alex
yeah, I
were,
remember.
like, we were just like, why,
Dude,
why?
no.
Yeah, his experience definitely was not as good as me and
when
Alex's.
when
But
I went to see it, I went to see it with my dad and my sister. It was like a surprise thing. We went to a theater and was able to watch it for
I really
free.
watched it like the day before Christmas.
I watched it. I watched it the day before it came out. But with that, nobody knew. Nobody was ready for the movie. Nobody like there was the theater was silent when Daredevil popped up.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Me and Alex were like, "Oh my God, it's Daredevil, Mac Murdock." And
I
everybody's
was
like, "Who's that?" And I'm like, "Oh."
I was the only one in my theater. I didn't make any noise because I didn't want to like.
Right, because
I
you don't want to
because
like ruin the experience. But like,
right.
if you hear other people doing it, you're gonna join along.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But like, I didn't say anything. But I'm in my chair, like,
like, bro.
I like nudged my sister to the side. I'm like, oh my God. Oh wait, you don't know who that is.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's so
and
disappointing.
then, but
dude.
she did. Me and her were the only ones that were like jumping out of our seat when we saw Andrew Garfield.
Right. Yeah.
But other than that,
Yeah.
the theater was
People,
the
yeah. People
experience
were
was terrible.
dead. Yeah. And it's just like, I really want to experience that because like that'll be so amazing.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't think we will though because Deadpool's more of a like a side character. Like not many people know his backstory and whatever.
Right. No, but he's not really a side character. He's
I'm not saying
no,
he's side character, but, like, he's not much of a known.
He's
character.
the main character, and everyone else is his side
No,
characters.
true, yeah,
because he breaks
yeah,
the fourth wall
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, fingers crossed. Deadpool's gonna be a good movie.
And great experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go watch the movie, and then we'll be back with our review after.
And our reactions and stuff.
Yeah. All right. what a freaking banger of a movie.
What an amazing movie, bro.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Before we get into the non-spoiler and spoiler review of Deadpool and Wolverine, we're gonna do one more segment, and it's gonna be a new segment called "Who Would Survive." So in this segment, I'm gonna give you fictional characters in a 1v1 standoff, and then you have to decide who would win and why. I'm gonna give you the characters and the whole scenario, and you have to like logically think like, oh, who's gonna survive? And for today's Who Would Survive segment, I'm giving you Scarlet Witch versus The Flash.
Scarlet Witch.
But here's the context of the thing, alright? Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff, has her reality warping, chaos magic, telekinesis, mind control abilities, and mastery over spells. Correct?
Okay.
And then The Flash, let's go with Barry. Let's go with Wally West. All right, he has his super speed, ability to manipulate time through the Speed Force, and enhanced reflexes and agility. Right, among other things. Those are just the basics. Right. Now now in the standoff, the location, the battle takes place in a desolate, or that's a isolated, time distorted city where reality is unstable, creating an environment where both their powers can be fully utilized and tested to their limits.
Right.
So there is no limit.
Okay.
Now you must consider the power dynamics. So like Scarlet Witch's reality warping ability versus the Flash's speed and time manipulation.
Right.
So what I think is going to carry Flash is time manipulation.
Right. That's what I was going to say.
You also have to consider strategic approaches, how each character would leverage their strengths and compensate for their weaknesses in such an environment. Mental resilience, the psychological aspect of the battle, how does each character's mental state and past experiences influence their approach to the fight. Environmental factors, how the unstable environment can shift and change unpredictably, might that impact the combat strategies and outcomes. And then, just for discussion points, can the Flash's speed overcome Scarlet Witch's magic before she alters reality around him?
That's what I was going to bring up. Because if he can't, then I'm pretty sure he's done. Like, can Wally West reverse time or no? Or is that...
I'm sure he can. I'm sure he can.
Yeah, okay. If he can reverse time, I feel like that's the one thing that's going to help him. Like, in this whole entire thing. It's like it really depends, like, how he has to do it. Because if he has to, like, run, are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm looking time.
I don't know,
I'm
because
looking up his time manipulation.
The main thing for Flash is, like, just him being, like, the terrain he's around, especially if it's changing most of the time. He's a fast dude, but, like, even then, Scarlet Witch is flying, so she doesn't really have to worry about the ground beneath her or anything.
Right.
So, like, I feel like that'll be his downfall. Like,
but do you think that she can, like, stop, like, natural forces, like a lightning strike or things like that? Do you think that?
I definitely think so.
But so Wally West has the ability to manipulate time, and he can also think at super speed.
Ooh.
And he can go into flash time.
I didn't think about that. I don't know. It's just like, how fast are her powers? Like, how
fast do you think she can react? But how fast do you think she can like kind of like do like a Doctor Strange thing and like create like different versions of herself? But that goes the same thing for Wally West.
No.
But
if it's something like that, then I don't think she'll have enough time at all.
But yeah, so it's like that. Can she use her powers to either slow down Wally West or catch him off guard?
If anything,
because like if she just goes into his head, how fast do you think that Wally's mind can, like, I guess, block her or beat her? Because his mind is so quick.
If it's a mind thing, I think he'll win at that. Because speaking by what you said, like saying that he can like think at super speed, I don't think she'll be able to keep up. Because
right
at that point, he can just think of like random things, and it would have nothing to do with the battle at all. But like, for him, he knows what he's thinking about because he can keep up, but she can't. So, like, he could be thinking about, like, his past trauma or whatever, but then, be, like, thinking of a strategy or whatever, something to throw her off, like, I don't know, like a dog or a cat. But, like, even then, just by that example, though, like, maybe maybe Scarlet Witch is smarter and she knows like what to look for. Like maybe she's looking for like I don't know her
I
mom
mean, in the
or
MCU,
his mom.
she was able to kill Professor X, and Professor X is
Pretty much like a OP dude. Yeah.
yeah.
But the thing is, Professor X doesn't have super speed.
Well,
Like
I'm not gonna. That's actually a bad example to use the multiverse of madness
no, yeah,
Professor
because
X
they were
because
all ignorant and arrogant. Yeah.
yeah, that was a bad
Yeah.
example.
Especially Reed Richards, motherfucker was like, oh yeah,
The smartest man alive, and
yeah,
then gets
yeah.
brain
Yes,
popped.
yeah, literally, bro. And then the what's his name? Black Bolt got his mouth shut,
Yeah,
closed, and he said,
what
and
an
he was like,
idiot.
yeah, yeah, literally, what an idiot. He like opened his mouth and instantly died, like, bro. But I don't know. That's a tough one though.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch
That's
versus.
really tough.
You also have to like. What about like? What role would the unstable, time distorted environment play in enhancing or hindering
If
each character's
honestly,
abilities?
if it's a time manipulation, I think Flash might win because
But
he
let's
can just
say that that like the ground that he's running on just like disappears
disappears
or
or
like
turn into
fades away.
ice
Yeah,
or
exactly. Like
yeah
at an instant.
or water. I don't think water would. No, I don't think because
Like
he's
what if the
pretty.
ground he's running on turns into ice and then he ends up slipping and
No,
falling
yeah,
and then he can't catch
that's what
himself
I'm
in time and
saying.
that's when Scarlet Witch goes into his
Like yeah,
head.
yeah, that like takes advantage of that. I don't know. That's what I'm saying because like I don't know if he'll be able to be fast enough to adapt to it or just like
I
phase or I don't even know what
I
because
feel
I feel
like
like
in physical attributes, Wally West is
oh
winning,
most
and
definitely
then in psychological, mental ability,
yeah
Wanda's winning.
yeah because like once she gets into the deep roots of like the person that like makes who you are, I'm pretty sure you're just cooked from there because then yeah because like even then even she has mental problems but her mental problems go way like crazier than like most people's and like her solutions to those problems. Like, bro, she literally tried to replace her own self or like an alternate version of herself because she lost her two kids. Like, Jesus Christ.
Right.
Yeah, so like, I don't know, but like at the same time, it really depends though, because like if you're speaking that like their powers are basically unbound, does Flash have like I don't know, like for example, like his team in his ear?
No,
No,
no, it's just
just
him.
them, just
Yeah.
them. I mean, I don't even think he'd need them though, because like,
No, because
because he,
he's way too fast. This is
yeah,
Wally West we're talking
yeah,
about. He's
and if
like
he had the speed thinking,
overpowered.
I don't think he's gonna need that like extra help because he can probably think of something himself.
Right.
If anything, I feel like time manipulation and speed thinking will definitely carry him. But like, I feel like the crazy thing is like it's just about time, like and like whether something is gonna switch at what time, what
It's
this.
really like picturing it now. It's what's gonna happen to
Yeah,
them in their fight that's
yeah,
gonna
right,
make one or the other come out on
right,
top.
yeah. It's more of a
Um,
like RNG base, I guess. Because if it's either her or they're just the area itself changing, then it might be a little bit weird or crazy. I meant, but like knowing Scarlet Witch, she'll probably pull some like heavy roots from like Barry, like maybe even Iris or something like that to like stop him in his tracks, or his mom, or even his dad, or I don't know, maybe the like I don't know, maybe like Barry Allen, because like those people are important to him, and when those people come like to these type of like situations, he like doesn't think rationally at all.
so in the end, who do you think is coming out on top?
I think it might be Flash.
You think it's gonna be Flash,
Because here's the
Wally
thing,
West?
yeah. Because here's the thing, like the thing with Flash is that like the only thing stopping Flash from winning in anything is like plot. Like
Right,
right. Like I don't ever see an instance where Flash could lose like literally anything.
right.
It's like only plot, but like obviously you need to have like some type of plot for a character because like
Mm-hmm.
you can't just have him win all the time. But like if Flash really wanted to, like he could really beat anyone he wanted.
Right.
Like and he could try as many times as he's basically just like Doctor Strange with that one scene with Dormammu, and he was like, "I what did he say? What did he say?
I've come to
Yeah,
bargain.
he's come to bargain. He can just do that however times he wants because it doesn't affect
Well,
him at
I
all."
mean, if he dies though, then he's dead. You
Oh
can't
yeah,
go back in time.
I guess
But
yeah, but
like,
like
if Scarlet Witch, with the environment being able to just change on its own at an instant, do you think Scarlet Witch, because she can also manipulate reality? I guess
yeah,
she can with her telekinesis abilities. She can move stuff around. Do you think that she would be able to catch Wally? Do you think that she can like build like some sort of like she would like use rocks or whatever and like
no, I don't
carry
think
it from
so.
the ground and
Because
like
if we're
put a
talking
case
about
around
Wally
him.
West, he's like the fastest speedster.
Yeah.
So I don't think that'll be quick enough.
Now, if I gave you Barry Allen's The Flash,
Then I think he'd lose, yeah. Because he's way slower.
but Barry Allen has the ability to predict the future, just
Does
like
he?
how Doctor Strange in Infinity War was like, "I've seen 14 billion."
If he has that, then I'm pretty sure it might be close, but I think he'd win. Because like the only thing helping him there is like to predict the future. But like whole thing with Wally West is that he's like super quick, like super fast to the point his lightning is white,
yeah,
which is saying something. Which is like I think it was only achieved by Barry Allen and Wally West.
yeah,
Like out of like I don't know 100 like thousands of speedsters out there, which is pretty crazy.
Mhm.
So like I feel like they both win, but Barry Allen would come in close, probably super banged up. I don't know, mentally scarred or whatever. But I feel like Wally West,
yeah. Barry Allen's definitely gonna suffer more,
more like
psychologically,
physical, mental damage. Yeah,
yeah.
but I feel like Barry just like
Either
feel
way,
like-
no matter what, the
Yeah,
speedster wins.
the speedster pretty much wins. Yeah,
yeah.
but it'll be like close though.
Oh yeah.
It'll definitely be a fight, but
I would love to see that fight. Anything else about that?
I don't know. That's such a tough answer, but I feel like
Power
like-
dynamics, strategic approaches.
I feel like it doesn't really matter though because like flash time, he can literally
Yeah.
sit there however long he wants.
True.
Especially like because like Barry, I feel like they made a great example out of it in the show. Like he can only be in it for so long
Right.
because
until
he
like,
wasn't
burns out.
because he wasn't too fast because he wasn't fast enough to be in it. Like he wasn't like really trained enough. I guess
What
that's
do you
how it
mean?
was. Like I don't think like in that certain point, like it get like the flash time, like the duration of it gets more longer and longer. Like the quicker he becomes because he's moving so fast that like everything stops.
The faster,
The faster
he
you
goes,
move, the more duration you get, right? Or
the
something like that.
the faster he's moving, the slower
The slow,
time.
right,
gets.
right. So then like imagine like Wally West being the fastest out of all of them. Like,
Yeah.
There's no point in that, and he could just sit there just thinking of the many possibilities
Right.
of like because then exactly, especially in that one scene where I think that bomb almost blew up, and he like literally had like a millisecond, and he was just sitting there for like 23 minutes of an episode,
Yeah.
just trying to think of something, and then last second thought of something in 23 minutes.
Yeah.
But like he only realistically only had like 1 minute, like 1 second left.
yeah.
Like that's pretty crazy. So like I don't even think the terrain would have enough time to like switch, and even then, he'd probably see it coming.
Oh yeah. If he's in
Yeah.
flash time,
Yeah, he'll
absolutely.
probably see it coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I feel like speed is just
It's just way too crazy, especially with the abilities that Wally West
Wild
has.
West, yeah.
If it was just speed, I think he would have lost. But like considering the other factors that he has,
yeah, considering them both
Yeah.
being able to use all their abilities
Yeah.
to the max,
I feel like,
Scarlet Witch's magic is not powerful enough to stop
or even quick enough at that point.
Flash
Yeah.
in Flash time.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so that was our Who Would Survive segment. Pretty short, but that's how we want to keep it, especially for a movie review
Pretty
episode.
short, but it was very interesting.
Yeah.
That was very interesting.
Very thought-provoking. All right,
Took
so
a
now we're
long
going
one.
into our spoiler-free movie review for Deadpool and Wolverine. So we're going to start with our rating. All right, so on 3. 1, 2, 3, 10 out of 10.
I said it before.
It is a 10 out of 10. The only thing, I might go as low as a 9.8, but other than that, it's definitely a 10 out of 10.
It didn't meet expectations. It exceeded
No,
expectations.
I
It
wouldn't-
was crazy.
I wouldn't say exceeded because
I would say that.
there were some areas where I was like, huh. But then like they usually usually got me back
No.
with something else.
No, yeah, definitely. Because I was seeing reviews like spoil free reviews, and a lot of people had like snippets of like or like little like I don't know why I'm like blanking out on this, but like little like problems with the story because it was like especially with the villain.
Wolverine and Deadpool had great chemistry. The
They did,
comedy of
yeah.
the movie was amazing,
Yeah.
as the other two
As
are.
soon as the movie started, you're like laughing already.
Exactly. Within like
Yeah.
a minute of the movie,
Yeah.
you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so good."
Yeah.
There were jokes in the movie that they continued that they called back to. It was amazing. The cameos in the movie were stunning. Soundtrack, amazing.
Amazing
soundtrack.
As always though.
The CGI and special effects were on point. There was maybe
There was one scene.
one
There was
scene
one
for
scene?
like 3 seconds
Yeah, that
where you're
was
like,
Absolutely
you
terrible.
can definitely
Yeah.
tell it's CGI.
Yeah, and
It's
I was
like,
like,
but it's okay because it was
Yeah.
a great visual.
Yeah, I feel like it was okay
overall
because it was only for 3 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine watching that
for
for
the
like
whole
a
movie.
minute or
Yeah.
like a whole movie. I actually would have
I'd
gone
be so
insane.
distracted.
Yeah, I'd actually go insane because I'd be like, dude, no way. Because like, it's to the point where like you really saw this and said, "Yep, publish it, take it
Yeah.
to theaters." Like, no,
Yeah.
no,
No, they definitely had multiple people
yeah,
working
yeah,
on that
yeah,
movie.
yeah. Yes,
So when I first saw the trailers for this movie, when I first saw Wolverine, Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine, I was excited, of course, but I also thought that his character was gonna be like they were gonna ruin his character.
oh yeah,
because
people were
because
yeah,
in the trailers they were just showing us his more aggressive and
yeah, yeah,
he was
yeah.
more angry than he was just
Yeah.
aggressive. And but it was better in this movie because they were making it more comic accurate. And
Yeah.
and when I first saw him in the trailers, I was like, why is he being so funny? Why is he so comedic and humorous? But those were only in the trailers. In the movie, he was only
You could really
he was only using humor
to cope basically.
necessarily.
Yeah.
Like he was only using it when he like when it fit properly.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Um.
I feel like a lot of worries that people had to this movie is how they were going to introduce Wolverine.
Right.
Like, yeah, and people were like
They
super
did
worried
a
about, but they did a
They
perfect
did
job
it
introducing him
perfectly.
and like bringing him into the movie.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
So
Like,
yeah. So what a lot of people are thinking is that this movie's gonna ruin Wolverine and Logan.
Right,
This
yeah.
movie hardly
yeah.
touches Logan. It is its own separate thing from Logan.
It did,
but
like,
it fits
once,
perfectly.
and that
It
was
is
it.
great.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's references to it.
Yeah.
But other than that, it is just it's all around. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's like it like doesn't talk about him at all. It's more about like the multiverse and like other Wolverines and Deadpools
Right.
and stuff like that.
Right. And the suits were
The
great.
suits were great, amazing. Yeah,
Amazing. The pacing in the movie was great.
pacing was great.
Um,
Well, no, it was great.
no,
Like,
it was great.
yeah,
It wasn't like
yeah,
action, then
Yeah.
slow and then build up and then action.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
the transitions in between the pacing and the emotion was
Oh, yeah.
great.
Most of the worries that people had for this movie, they knocked it out of the park.
Like
the
Oh, the
cameos.
cameos.
There's cameos, but it makes sense.
Yeah, so
Like-
so our predictions, we were thinking that it was going to be a cameo fest and they were going to overdo
Yeah,
cameos
they were gonna
and ruin the movie.
Yeah, because it's multiverse, but they did it so well.
No, no. So the cameos that were in the movie, they don't pull away from
Yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine. They definitely highlight Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
What's great is that the title of the movie is Deadpool and Wolverine,
Right.
but it's a Deadpool movie. But they did a great job making both Deadpool and Wolverine
Yeah,
the
like
main
the
characters.
exactly.
They were
yeah,
both the main characters. It wasn't Deadpool with like a sidekick, side plot character.
Yeah, because they were both doing their own things and they both had their own objectives and they both had their own like
and
motives.
Marvel highlighted them
Yeah,
both perfectly.
Yeah.
They both went into both their
Amazingly.
stories equally and evenly, and it was just such a cinematic beauty.
Yeah, just most of the worries that people had for this movie, like how they introduced the TVA, they did an amazing job introducing
Yeah.
them too,
Yeah.
and like their whole like involvement in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
which was great.
Oh my god, these damn Amber Alerts,
Yeah,
dude.
I
Dude,
heard
no,
that. I
when
was
we were
like, what
watching the
hell?
movie, we literally had 2 Amber
Yeah,
Alerts
yeah,
in
and
the
like
theater.
yeah, and like I remember I think I heard someone be like, "Yo, who's in the Ashbro doing this, bro?" I was like, "Yo, what the hell?" Oh, speaking of the movie theater,
yes,
it was amazing.
our theater experience was
Yes,
amazing.
it was great. That's the one thing. Another worry we had.
Yeah,
But,
that was a big worry, was that no one was gonna be
Yeah,
hyped for
But
this movie.
everyone,
Well, okay, here's the thing. Okay, so we went with a group of friends. Alex
It was
and I
like
went
4
with a
of
group
us.
friends.
Yeah,
it was
4
4
of
of us.
and all of us are pretty loud.
Nobody in that theater wanted to ruin everybody else's
The
experience.
experience,
They
right.
didn't. They were afraid to cheer or get hype or whatever until we did.
Until we did.
When
yeah.
we saw that first cameo, we
We
were screaming.
Yes, it was yo.
We were screaming, and then when there were more surprises and more
Yes,
things
yes,
coming
yes,
in.
yes.
everybody else started to get hype and jump out of their seats and everything. It was such a great experience.
It was crazy. And then I
The-
feel like
Yeah, go ahead.
I will like explain the cameos. Like, I feel like people who like are diehard fans of Marvel are really gonna love this movie because they go like maybe 20, 30 years of like just all the lore. Like,
Yes. Yes.
animation, movies, comic books. Like
Correct.
if you know your stuff, you're definitely gonna be like,
Yes.
oh my god, I know that, and I know where it's from.
There are there are
Yes.
direct quotes from the comics where
Yes,
you will
yes,
you will
yes.
hear them
And you're gonna
be like,
you're
oh,
yes,
that's,
yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
quote from the comic.
It's so crazy, and you're just like, I don't know. It was like so special, like seeing that, and I'm like, I know where that's from. And
Yeah.
people are like, and like especially like there's this one scene, and like I remember like I turned to Nicco, he was like,
Yeah,
bro,
no,
it
we
was
were freaking out the entire movie.
crazy.
It was such a roller coaster.
It
of
really
a movie.
was, but it was such a good roller coaster.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
The highs were super high.
Yeah,
The
and there
lows,
were
lows.
not
You
even
can
low.
you can
Yeah.
feel the lows and be like, I love this.
yeah, and like
I
even
love
like
this low.
even like the tensions, like the
Yes, the tension
anger,
was so.
sad,
it
like,
was
all
so
the
good.
emotions, you could really feel it, and
Yes,
like and it had a
yes.
reason behind it. Like it was just, oh, I'm angry because da, 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 da. Like it wasn't a dumb reason. It was like it was a good reason, and like and even Deadpool like showing his like sad side and whatever, and like you could really feel it. And like I remember
Yeah.
that part of the movie, everyone just went quiet, and I was like, damn,
Yes, you can feel.
Yeah,
when
you
the
can
movie
really
when the
feel,
movie gets
yeah.
deep, you're like,
you can
I love
feel
this.
it. Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
The only thing, looking back at it now in our theater experience, so when we bought our seats, I said this before, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In the
Our
first
seats
half.
are separated. We bought one seat and then skipped 2 seats and then purchased another seat, and then our friends bought the 2 seats next to that seat. So we had
Wow.
3 seats, 2 blank seats, two like
Yeah, 'cause
unpurchased seats, and then a purchased seat.
because the plan was it was supposed to be 5 of us.
Yeah.
One of them couldn't go, unfortunately.
Yeah, and then the
So-
2 seats that were unpaid for, our friends were supposed to buy, but they waited
Yeah.
too long, and someone
And
else snapped
yeah,
them.
someone else bought them, and then unfortunately, it was like some random couple,
was
and I'm
a
like,
couple.
of course it was a couple. I'm like, oh no, I feel terrible.
So what we had to do was we had to ask the couple to
They were
to
super
slide
chill
down.
about
They were
it.
super chill
Yeah,
about
but
it.
I still was like, I was still
yeah,
just like, I don't
but
want to be an asshole,
I feel
bro.
I feel like we ruined the movie
Yeah,
for
yeah,
them because
kinda, yeah.
it was definitely like a date. And I think that his girlfriend had no idea what she was watching.
No, she was.
She was.
No,
like-
she was. She was. I was the one that sat next to her.
Yeah.
She caught some of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, she knew
like-
she knew superheroes, she knew Marvel, but
Yeah,
she,
yeah,
she
yeah.
didn't know it to the depth that we
No,
did.
yeah, like obviously.
So like
'cause
she
we're,
wasn't
geeks or whatever.
she
Yeah.
wasn't as into the movie
But, like-
as everybody else.
Yeah,
as,
but,
as her
like-
boyfriend was. I should say.
No, but her boyfriend was like, "Why are we talking about this?"
I don't
But
know,
like her partner was like filling her in and everything. They had a great time. They had a great time. Everyone had a good time.
I'm not knocking that, but I feel
Yeah.
like with us being as loud as we were,
Yeah.
they were a
Was
little.
it- and maybe like if it was me, I definitely would have been like,
Can y'all like chill
Yeah,
out?
yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
get
yeah.
it. I get the
I
movies.
get it, guys.
I get it, but
I'm
like,
not-
can
Like,
you
bro.
just like take it down? You're at
Yeah.
like a 12. Can you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
it down to like a 9?
no, actually, no, I don't care because there's these guys being super hella loud, like above us for no reason.
Yeah,
for,
no,
like,
our
a whole
corner,
minute,
our
and
corner
I
of
was
the
like,
theater was the best corner of the theater
yeah.
I've ever seen, bro.
pretty much, yeah. It was a great experience overall.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 experience, 10 out of 10 movie.
Yeah.
It was great.
Honestly, I don't know. I just didn't expect to have that like theater experience, but everyone was laughing, everyone was cheering. It was great. It was
Yeah.
really great. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so now we're getting into our spoilers segment for Deadpool and Wolverine. So if you
If you don't want
want
spoilers, leave right freaking now. Yes, I'm gonna talk over Nico because I own.
Shut up! So if you don't want any spoilers, get out! Please do click off the video now. I don't want to hear any complaints like, oh my god, you spoiled the movie for me. This is your warning. Please click off the video now if you do not want spoilers for Deadpool and Wolverine.
That being said,
Before we get into spoilers, before I forget, I just want to point out that this week's poster of the week is Iron Man 2.
that's so late.
To follow my not take.
Yeah.
To follow my not take.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
it's so late. So for our spoiler segment, Alex and I are both gonna go on 5-minute rants.
Tangents.
We're gonna take turns. This way, so one person can't interrupt the other person.
Oh, it's gonna be tough.
Fuck. This is for you
Yeah,
because I know
yeah.
damn well you're gonna be like, actually. So your 5 minutes start now.
I really liked how they so basically in the movie the whole plot of the movie is that like Deadpool's universe is dying because Wolverine is dead, or Logan you could say. And I love how dude the Henry Cavill Wolverine was crazy, dude. It was crazy. The Hulk versus Wolverine was insane. You can comment, by the way. Don't be all
No, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm gonna let you.
Anyways,
I'm gonna let you get off whatever you want.
And it was just crazy, and the fights were like really really good. The fights between like Wolverine and Deadpool were like really good. Like they their fights are like very comic book accurate. Like in the comic books, you just see them just going at it just because, and it in this movie, it was just like that, or there was a good reason to it. Like there was a point they were like leaving, and they like had found a different Deadpool variant in like the Void, which is like some area where like what's it called, like forgotten characters go, which is where we meet Blade,
Oh, the void.
Elektra, X-23. I don't know why she was down there, but I guess she was forgotten. I guess. Um, just a lot of people. Ant-Man 3, which God forbid it should be down there. Fuck. Um, it's just like a bunch of characters that like you probably forgot. Like Johnny Storm. Johnny Storm's appearance in the movie was amazing. It was so funny because like they were leading you on to think he was Captain America, and Deadpool was like, "Oh my god, he's gonna say it. He's gonna say it." And he's gonna say Avengers, and he's like, "Flame on!" And I'm like, ah! And this dude was geeked out of his mind because I don't know how you predicted it.
No,
What was that?
that was not. I don't know why it did that.
Okay. Anyways, so yeah, in the movie they like lead you on to think that it's Captain America because he has a cloak on, and you can see like the suit, but it's like blue and red. But obviously, Fantastic Four is like more blue, black, and white. But like they're leading you on to think, and then he like finally flames on, his cloak like burns up, and you can see the Fantastic Four. But like there was a dead giveaway before he even did that, because like they're being like surrounded by other people, and the cars that they're riding has the Fantastic Four logo on it. So like you can already like somewhat assume that like there's gonna be a Fantastic Four member here. But I think they're most dead. Most of them are dead except for Johnny Storm. Um, just like a lot of pinpoints. We did see that gray variant of Deadpool, or it was kind of a gray variant, but it was alright. We like the many different Wolverines. I feel like they did a great job with picking the Wolverine, especially with like his whole like character arc and everything. I feel like it fits really well, especially because like he's so deep in the dumps, like just like Deadpool. So like it fits so well while they're helping each other out because they're like literally both in the same situation. Like obviously Deadpool's the comedic relief, and then like dude, there's this one scene where they're like meeting the X-Men, like Gambit, Blade, Elektra, and X-23, and this dude Wolverine's just chugging alcohol, bro, because he's like he's like a professional alcoholic in the movie, and they're just like, yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna go beat what's her name? I forgot the villain's name. I forgot it already.
Cassandra Nova.
Yeah, Cassandra Nova. Like we're gonna go beat her, and he's in the background chugging. He's like, you're all gonna fucking die. It's like the funniest shit. And he's like, can you read a room? It's like the funniest shit in the world, bro. Because like there's such counter opposites, but it fits so well. And Deadpool being up to date with like Gen Z quotes, and he's like, "Let this man cook." Like, bro, it was so unexpected, but it was low key so funny. And like it was just like the whole movie was like amazing. Even the opening, what I really liked is that they continued like how like the movie opens. That like they start off like him in the middle of a fight, and then it goes back. Like first movie was like that, the second movie was like that, and the third movie was like that. And like it's like a continued thing. It won't be for a fourth because I don't think they were making a fourth. I think Ryan Reynolds confirmed that they're not gonna make a fourth. I don't think so. Um, but yeah, I love how they kept that going, and the opening scene was amazing. Like watching Deadpool dance to that song was the funniest shit in the world. And I don't know, it's just like, dang, now I can't remember all the spoiler stuff, but it's like all the good stuff in the movie too. The last CGI scene. Oh, right, when Wolverine puts on his mask, and then it's like literally comic book lore. And I think it was after their fight. I think after they fight, they had like on a minivan is when you see Wolverine without his sleeves, because people were like hoping to get comic book version Wolverine, but like obviously he starts the movie off with sleeves, and then they get into some fight and he loses the sleeves because of battle damage or whatever, and Leon has the gauntlets, and then like at the end of the movie he puts on the mask, and it's so cool. They did so well with that, and the CGI was a little bit iffy with him there, especially in the end where they jumped out the bus, but it was great. Definitely exceeded my expectations. The whole TVA was kind of funny too.
All right, you're
Is it
over
up?
your 5 minute. Yeah,
Is it up?
I let you finish off the
The thought,
Wolverine
yeah.
cowl. But yeah, you were 5.5. But I gave you the extra
Yeah,
30
because
seconds
we had
because of the
technical
beeping. It
difficulties. But
wasn't even technical difficulties. All right, so that was your. I'm just gonna. Hopefully, I can get enough to say my stuff and counter yours. Not counter, but like move on
yeah,
off of
continue
what
off.
yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back or rebound off what you said. So you said the cameras were great, which they were.
They were amazing.
We got to see Hulk. It was Mark Ruffalo. I really wanted Eric Bana, but whatever. We got Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. We got Chris Evans is Johnny Storm from the early
Fantastic Four.
2000s Fantastic Four. He did. There were honorable mentions of Reed Richards, Daredevil, Quicksilver, and Punisher. We didn't get
That
to
was
see
really cool.
them,
Yeah.
but it was. I think it was. I think they were referencing Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
And Magneto.
Magneto. Well, it was just his name.
Yeah.
We got to see Elektra, Jennifer Garner's Elektra.
Yeah. From way earlier in 2000.
Channing Tatum as Gambit, the original Blade, and we got this. And there was a scene where it was Deadpool and Wolverine versus all of Deadpool's variants.
Oh yeah.
And that is when we got to see Lady Deadpool, Kid Deadpool, Baby Deadpool,
Yeah.
fucking Paul Pool, bro.
Dude,
Paul Deadpool.
Paul Pool.
Dude, Paul's aura was insane.
Insane. His Johnson.
Dude,
Bro,
yeah, no,
it was
his package
peeking. Yeah,
was-
he was peeking through the suit, bro. It's
All right.
crazy.
All right, now silence. This is my 5 minutes. I'm adding 30 seconds. But yeah, we got to see everybody. The thing you were saying about the gray suit Deadpool, it was yes, the Deadpool did have a gray suit, but there was also a hat and other accessories on him.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the gray suit that you were talking
close.
about,
I
but
liked
it was
close.
a gray suit. And Blake Lively was Lady Deadpool. I called that. Just like I called Johnny Storm being in the
Yeah.
movie. I literally called his exact interaction. I knew that that Deadpool was gonna be like, oh my god, it's Captain America. Say whatever. Here's your suit, whatever. And then Chris Evans was gonna be like, flame on.
Yeah.
But you were right. Yeah, they did definitely tease him earlier, but with the Fantastic Four car that they used in the second Fantastic Four movie, Rise of the Silver Surfer. They did tease that. That was cool to see. Just love that. You mentioned that the fights between Deadpool and Wolverine were comic accurate, and they were just going at it just because. 100% true. Loved that. The fighting choreography was amazing. I've said this before, and I'll keep saying it. Marvel has never missed a fight choreography scene. Every fight scene was on point. Loved everything they did. There was one time when the Avengers of the Void were fighting Cassandra Nova's goons. Channing Tatum was doing like backflips and whatever, and you could obviously tell like that's not Channing Tatum. Juggernaut was in the movie from like the X-Men movies, but it wasn't the same same actor. I was a little bit disappointing, but it was still fine. I still loved that Juggernaut take. So many references to the original X-Men movies. Pyro, Azalea, the red version of Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. The from X2, the Wolverine with the fingernails. X-23 loved how that she was in it. I loved her involvement. We see that in the trailers. Yeah, it was kind of with the storyline and the plot. It was odd seeing her. Like, how did she end up here? Wolverine cameos where we see a sneak peek of Wolverine versus Hulk. Loved that.
Yeah.
It was Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, and it was the brown and yellow comic accurate suit of Wolverine. There was a Henry Cavill Wolverine. There was no Daniel Radcliffe Wolverine. It was Hugh Jackman as Patch.
Yeah.
What else? With the cameos. Oh yeah, so in the opening fight scene, ultimate scene, they did kind of like you said, they did Tarantino the beginning of the scene. They start in the middle of a fight, go to the backstory, and then you're back into present time. In that opening fight scene, Deadpool is using Wolverine Logan's from the Logan movie. He was using his adamantium skeleton to kill all the TVA agents, and he at one point tore off Logan's claws and used them as if Deadpool was Wolverine.
Yeah.
He was using them like Wolverine. It was such a great mirroring effect thing. The dynamic of characters with Deadpool Deadpool and Wolverine, great.
Amazing.
With Deadpool being comedic, and then Wolverine like telling him to shut the fuck up, and
Yeah.
then just like kind of bringing him back down to earth. That was great. The Gen Z stuff was funny.
Yeah.
It was not expecting it, but that was funny. Let this guy cook. The Wolverine CGI, yeah, it was bad for when they jump out of the bus and you get that comic accurate scene.
Like Wolverine.
A great visual, but the CGI was iffy. That's the only time you're gonna be like, oh, CGI was kind of iffy on that. And it lasted like 15 seconds. So that's me. That's me going off what you said. I loved the Marvel Jesus joke. How that carried out through the entire movie. There was a time where it was like, I am Marvel Jesus, but they call me MJ. I'm trying to trademark. I'm trying to trademark.
Call me MJ if you're nasty.
Shut up. Adding another 30 seconds. Fantastic Four teased the vehicle with Johnny. Educated Wish joke, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
There's a scene there. So when in order to get Wolverine to help Deadpool goes, the TVA can help you save your universe. And then when they're in the van in the woods trying to get to whoever, Deadpool's like, I think they can help you, and Wolverine hears that and goes, what do you mean you think? And he's like, I was making an educated wish. And then that joke kind of goes on throughout the whole movie as well. That's great. So in the movie, in the trailers, when we first see Daphne Keene, she goes, you were always the wrong guy until you weren't the wrong guy. They cut that second half out. They cut off until you weren't the right guy, but then they added it back into a flashback, and I found that kind of odd. Wolverine's suit had meaning. That was beautiful. I loved that. That's one of those low moments we were talking about. That was just great. The cowl, amazing.
Yeah.
Was not expecting the cowl at all. They introduced that. So that was such a good. Yeah. Oh my god, it was such a good inclusion of Wolverine. This is the last thought. Deadpool, even Deadpool being Deadpool and breaking the fourth wall, he was talking to the TV agent, and then he was even addressing how how people need to stop doing the multiverse because the multiverse is ruining movies and franchises. So that was I loved seeing that. I love how we know that the directors know that franchises, including the multiverse, is ruining franchises. So just seeing that and acknowledging that was perfect. So yeah, my time is up. Now your turn again.
It was more like it was like great. It was just like a nod at like everything, especially dude, Deadpool's fourth wall breaks were amazing, and they were so like they made sense. Like he was like, well, Disney's gonna have a kick with this one, and he would like wink at the camera because like obviously Disney is now a part of Marvel. They bought him out, and it's just so funny because like all his what's it called? His fourth wall breaks were like funny, and it was like, and you would get every single one of them, and I think and then he in the first wall break, he's like talking to the TVA because there's like this scene that like wasn't explained at all in the movie, but it was referenced throughout the whole movie because it was so funny. Where like the TVA is showing like Deadpool's like new life or new opportunity that we're gonna give him, and it was him on the ground like dying, and Thor was crying like holding him, and throughout like the first half of the movie, Deadpool's like, I didn't know why Thor was crying and what was happening, and then like they give him this opportunity, and he's still like in his Wade Wilson like get up or whatever, not in the Deadpool suit, and he's given this hell of an opportunity, and he's like baffled, he's like lost for words, and he's like, I'll be right back, and he gets to the camera, he's like, fucks, and he breaks it, and like he walks back like it's nothing, yes. And they're all looking at him because because obviously this is all in his head, but they're all looking at him, they're just like, what is this guy talking? Oh my god, what is this guy talking about? Oh my god. And then there's this other guy that would just like stare at Deadpool with like lustful eyes, and Deadpool's just like, I know you like what you see, buddy, and he's just like, I'm calling HR. He's like, do you really want to? It was just so funny. Like the whole like comedy was super good. Like Wolverine's and Deadpool's chemistry, like it literally worked a lot. Like very comic book accurate. I love seeing how they had like they got Wolverine to say bub a lot during the movie. It was really nice. He would just say it like every so often, but like it was like in a right moment. And I feel like a really scene that really hit home for me was when Wolverine was like absolutely riddling like Deadpool and like with words. He was like putting him down so much to the point where like he didn't say anything. Like he couldn't come up with a joke or anything. And he was like, "Oh, you can't come up with anything now? Like you're taught you're like you're not gonna come up with a joke now?" And like Deadpool's response was, "I'm gonna fight you now." And he's like, "You're a fucking joke." And he like punched the shit out of him. And like no, and then that's where the whole choreography of the fight starts. Speaking of the fights were amazing. Just as Nicco said, it's just like it's like every single like I don't know like if you were like to read like you would have a comic book right next to it. It literally looks so accurate because like he's using his katanas, his baby knives, whatever, his guns. Like oh right, and they had that scene where I think when they first got into the void and obviously Wolverine is mad, he picks him up by the claws and throws him down, and then they have a little fight before they have their cool showdown, and like Deadpool riddles his like sides with bullets, and he gets up, and they have like a side like a behind profile of Wolverine, and you can see like the bullets fall off his body. It was so nice. It was so sick. Um, I don't know. I really can't think of anything else. Most of the Deadpool variants, I didn't get. I think I got the floating head one. There was like a futuristic girl one. She had like blue eyes or whatever. I didn't get her. I really liked Kid Deadpool. He was like, "Once you stop sucking off Wolverine, maybe I'll start listening to you." And I'm just like, "What the fuck?" It was so funny. It was like so out of nowhere. It was really hilarious. Um, but like, yeah, the whole movie was really good. I didn't really like the villain too much. She was pretty cool, especially with her powers, like being able to like mind read people and like her like sticking like her hand in your head. But like I pointed out in the spoiler free, like her motives changed like three times or like twice during the movie. It was more like a yeah, I'm gonna stay in the void because it's fun and it's where I belong, blah 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 blah. And then and then Wolverine persuaded her with like Luther, and he's like, "If your brother was here, he wouldn't have let this happen, whatever." And then she was like, "Yeah, I'll come. I'll help you guys." But then she learned that they had like some that the TVA's Paradox was making the guy in the movie that has like the controller, whatever that summons Deadpool. He's making this machine to like quickly eradicate what's it called universes and stuff like that. And once she learns about that, her motives change again, and then she's like, "Yeah, now I'm gonna delete every multiverse except for the Void." And I'm like, that's three times her motives that like changed, and I'm like, it's whatever. But like she was a cool character overall. Her abilities were really cool. Like literally just Lex Luthor. I think maybe more powerful. Maybe I don't know for sure, but it really seemed like it. Nothing could really stop her until they put the Juggernaut head on top of her. And speaking of Juggernaut, I really like how they did X-23 in this movie. It was really nice, and her fighting choreography was really good, and they really like got it down to like she was really acting like Wolverine. It was really nice.
All right, that's your 5 minutes. Yeah, pretty much. I agree with most of what you're saying. You said the cameras were great. Of course, they were. They were perfectly introduced, seamlessly intertwined with the Deadpool and Wolverine and their story. The fourth wall breaks. He literally breaks the fourth
Yeah.
wall. He breaks that camera, and like you can see, like, the screen is shattered. You can see the glass shatter of the camera. It's hilarious. He was being funny, and he was addressing like Fox and Disney beef. It was hilarious. The Deadpool and Thor seeing so in when Deadpool first gets brought into the TVA, he meets Paradox. Paradox is the leader of a certain branch of the TVA, and he's in charge of making sure that the timelines that are supposed to die. And he builds a machine. It's called the Time Ripper, and it pretty much increases. It pretty much speeds up the
Process.
Thank you. Of these timelines being erased. And when Deadpool sees the screens around him in the TVA, he sees a timeline where it's him and Thor's holding him in his arms, and he's crying. And it's clearly in the future because Thor has a scar in his eye and his long hair and whatnot. But yeah, that was super funny. See that in there. And then yeah, Deadpool was like talking about it for a good like 20 minutes, and then it just kind of disappears for the rest of the movie. Deadpool breaking the fourth wall on the camera, said that already. The TVA obsession, that was hilarious. There's a TVA agent that who just like looks at Deadpool in awe anytime Deadpool's in the TVA, and he and when Deadpool escapes the TVA to go and find Logan, he jumps and he like goes butt first into this TVA agent's face, and he just like disappears. The guy goes, "Aw." Yeah, he's like looking at him like, "Oh my gosh." Yeah, so one of the best scenes in the movie is when Wolverine and Deadpool get real with each other, and Deadpool and Wolverine goes off at Wolverine and telling him like, "You're worthless, you're nothing. That's why this is why the Avengers don't want you." The movie highlights how Deadpool wants to be in the Avengers so bad. And I thought that was a really great addition. And then Wolverine picks up on that and he goes, "Yeah, no wonder the Avengers want to take you. You're an idiot. You're reckless. You're whatever. You're terrible. You're no hero." And then Deadpool punches him in the face out of anger and was like, "I'm gonna fight you now." And then they just go off, and it was one of the best fight scenes between the two ever. The villain was like Alex said. I was saying this in the car on the car ride home after seeing the movie. I was like, Cassandra Nova was a very interesting villain because she wasn't a villain. She was a very inconsistent villain because she went from wanting to kill these two to being focusing on herself to then realizing, "Oh my god, you guys saved my life, now I'm going to be a good guy," to realizing, "Oh my god, now there's a time ripper for me to get everything I want." So she changes constantly throughout the movie. Same thing with Paradox. Paradox also changes. He goes from wanting to hunt down Wolverine to wanting to hunt down Deadpool to wanting to kill Cassandra Nova to wanting to kill Deadpool Wolverine to wanting to help Deadpool and Wolverine. Very inconsistent characters. And then the Peter Pool aura was insane. Oh my gosh, Wolverine is always sweaty. He's oiled up in every scene. There's never a scene where you don't see him like wet. Like he's just constantly oiled.
So you're 90.
Yeah. So there is a scene. Deadpool makes a joke. When Wolverine is officially in the MCU, and he's like, "Yeah, Feige's gonna keep you here until you're 90. You're gonna be doing this until you're 90." And he keeps addressing the "till you're 90" joke throughout the entire movie. It's hilarious. Yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine had a great dynamic. These are two characters who are nothing alike, but just put together, and it's like chocolate and peanut butter. It's so great. Between Deadpool being funny, Wolverine being him down and getting real, and then Deadpool bouncing off and making Wolverine a little bit humorous, appropriately and necessarily. That's great. And then making Deadpool serious and be like, "No, I need to do this." It's just great. It's a great dynamic between the two. It's a great movie. Marvel did a great job. Sean Levy directed this movie. Great job. Gotta say, hands down, he deserves all the credit. All right, that's my 5 minutes.
I think at this point we're just trying to figure out like stuff to say, but I feel like what we haven't brought up is like their like the reason why this movie is happening. So basically, Deadpool's universe is being destroyed. But that's not really an issue to him. The issue to him is like the people that he loves and cares about, which is why this movie is happening, because he doesn't want to see them disappear, especially his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend at the time during the movie. That like the reason why he wants to join the Avengers is because they broke up and they were having like a really bad patch. And I think she said something like, "You need to become something of yourself," because she was like, obviously he's a mercenary and he's a merc. So like he's like constantly getting shot at. And in the second movie, she dies because of him. And I think, and he fixes that with Cable's time, whatever. But like they have some like serious talk, and she's just like, "I don't want to keep living like this. You need to find like a normal job or something." And he doesn't know what to do. He's like trying to find like search for an answer that he just doesn't know. Like obviously he wants to be Deadpool because that's what he likes to do, but he knows if he continues to be Deadpool, it puts people that he loves in harm, and he doesn't want to do that. So like he tries to become normal. He puts on a toupee, staples it to his forehead, becomes a sales associate, disses Honda and tells Kia is better, which I highly disagree, but whatever. But like yeah, he's just trying to become like a normal person, and it just like it's really not working for him, and he's like really down, like in the dumps. And like he had this birthday party, and he invites his ex-girlfriend because obviously they're really close, and they're talking about how like And she's like, yeah, I'm meeting someone. And you can see like the distraught in his face. You can see how sad he is because like obviously he still loves her and like but she's like already moving on and he's trying to move on so bad, but like it's just not happening. And he's just like and like the whole time he's like, I'm so grateful for you guys, blah 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 blah, and I'm so happy. But you can tell he's not happy at all. Like he may have convinced the people in the room, but he knows he is not happy at all. That's why he does the jokes he does. He's like, I think he says a movie in the line. He's like, he said something like, I think I read this in a comic book. It's like, yeah, it might be the joke, but like, I'm not the one laughing though, but everybody else is, because like he's just so depressed inside. And then like he learns that like his universe is gonna disappear, and then like that's his motive. Like he's like that's his motive to become like to finally do something good in his life instead of being some guy that just messes things up. Which I kind of disagree with your take. How like you said that like they mix like peanut butter and chocolate. I think they're peanut butter and jelly because Wolverine is in the same aspect. He let people because in his universe or this universe Wolverine, he's an alcoholic because he didn't want to join the X-Men or something like that. And he's like, you guys look goofy. I don't want to do that. Blah 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 blah. And then like one day the humans were hunting mutants and they killed everyone but him. And now he's like the only mutant like alive in his universe. And like everyone knows him for like the shit that like he is. He's basically people treat him like a piece of garbage in his universe, which is basically how Deadpool is treated. Like they're just so down low in life that like they basically like at this point it's so much fate that they met each other because they help like uplift each other. And at the end of the movie, it really shows because at the beginning of the movie, like they're like so against each other, and Deadpool just wants what he wants, and Wolverine just wants what he wants. And at the end of the movie, they become best bubs. Like they hold hands and they like destroy the machine together. They even go to his apartment. I think Wolverine moves in. I don't know how was happening, but he was introducing her to Blind Owl or what's her name,
Blind Owl.
Blind Owl, and it was everything. And they're like friends and whatever. And it's just like it's such a nice way to see how low these characters got to like how high they are now. And Deadpool's like truly really happy because like he finally got to do something that he like thought was right. And I feel like and like he referenced this again during the end of the movie because when he was applying to be an Avenger, he kept telling Happy Hogan, which Happy Hogan's in the movie, which we forgot to introduce. Happy Hogan's in the movie, and it was Earth 616, which I thought was very very interesting. But in the interview, he goes on to say that like I want to become an Avenger because I need it. But Happy Hogan's like to become an Avenger, you don't need it. You do it because they need you. You do it because you're like the hero, whatever. They need you, so you have to step up. And at the end of the movie, they're trying to decide like who has to sacrifice himself to destroy the machine because it's made of matter and antimatter, and them two mixing together, it will evaporate whatever is like down there trying to destroy it. And Wolverine's just like, I really need this to, because they're both like, they both feel like the need to finally do something right in their life to like finally get closure or whatever. And Wolverine's like, I really need this. I'm going to do it. And Deadpool's like, okay, yeah, cool, no problem. But obviously he has a problem with it. And he bashes them in the head, or I don't know what I'm pretty sure he bashes them with the fire extinguisher. And then he takes the role of being the sacrifice and he locks the door. And Wolverine's obviously super upset because he wanted to do it. And he's like, you don't have to do this. Blah, 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 I'll do it. And he's like, I'm not doing it because I want to. I'm doing it because they need me to. Which is like, I feel like which is a great turn and like a great contrast to like the beginning of the movie because like he's finally realizing like what it is to be like a good person to do the right thing just because it's right. Which I feel like was amazing. And like, and at the end, eventually Wolverine breaks down the door and they do it together and they both get their little happy ending or whatever.
Yeah.
And then everything comes back full circle and they're just like really happy.
Yeah.
And they're like at a good point in their life.
That's your time. You went
Damn.
30 seconds over again.
Okay.
Because you never stop talking, dude. It's just thought after thought, and then like
brother,
you just don't stop, bro. Like
content.
It's not content when you just fucking
Content.
stop when you just
Content.
keep talking and then you don't
Content.
give depth
Content.
into what you're saying.
Content.
You're saying this and them, and then no one knows who the fuck this and them is.
What are you talking about?
Merc with a mouth was a quote in the movie. Loved that. Loved seeing that. Yeah, you were right about the whole Deadpool and girlfriend thing. That was Deadpool's motivation to be good and go find something and start doing something to save his timeline. With his friends and family, they were only in the movie for like 2 minutes in the beginning and 2 minutes in the end. You hardly see Colossus. The only person that you get to see and that you want to see is Blind Owl. We see her the most out of their friend group. We see Blind Owl the most. Loved the Deadpool and Blind Owl dynamic. Logan is introduced to Blind Owl. Their little meeting is hilarious, and I enjoyed that.
Sorry to interrupt, but she was also in the Killing Deadpool variants. She was also there at the windowsill. Remember?
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh God, I wish I wasn't blind." Actually, like they're
yeah,
killing everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. When Deadpool and Wolverine are killing all the Deadpool variants, all you hear is like the slicing and cutting of limbs and just death. And Blind Owl's like, why couldn't God take my ears instead of my vision? But that was funny. You're right. 616 was weird to see because all it was just Happy Hogan.
Mhm.
There was no other introduction to anything else about 616. It was just you could at that point they could have just thrown in any random numbers and we would have been fine with it.
Yeah.
616 was such an odd choice because it never went back to 616.
Because it isn't 616 Prime.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
it's like really weird.
They didn't do it.
Right. They didn't do anything
for people
with
who
that.
don't know what 616 is. Saying 616 is not going to do anything for
Yeah,
them.
right.
What I meant by chocolate and peanut butter, when they're together, yeah, they're like peanut butter and jelly, but they're coming from two different. They're two different characters in their own world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, together they're great. Together they're like peanut butter and jelly when they're working together and doing whatever. But their solo stories with each other, they're the same, but they're different. That's what I'm saying. Is like that's what I mean.
Okay.
That's what chocolate and peanut butter is. And then peanut butter and jelly is when they're together.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wolverine's suit. So when we first see this drunk loser Logan that we get for the movie, he's wearing like a trench coat and civilian clothes. And then when Deadpool finds him and knocks him out to bring him to the TVA to be like, here's the guy who's gonna help me save my universe. He sees the suit underneath Logan's clothes and like, oh, look at these pajamas. And then Wolverine hates that he's wearing the suit, that he's being seen in this suit. There's meaning behind the suit. And the meaning is because like this, it's because Wolverine let down his universe because the X-Men needed him and he walked away and was like, no, I don't want this. And so the suit had meaning because now it stands for like how he let people down, how he let all of his friends and family die and whatnot. And so just putting on the suit just made him feel like such a shitty person. And it wasn't until an interaction with X-23 that made him like, I'm gonna give this suit some meaning now. I'm gonna avenge the people who meant the world to me. I gotta say, the ripped sleeves off, the ripped off sleeves, it would have been better if we kept the shoulder pads.
Shoulder pads, yeah.
It would have been, especially with the cowl on.
Yeah.
It would have been so much better. Again, why is he oiled up? He is oiled up in every scene. He will literally just be like standing drinking alcohol. Bicep is just oiled up completely.
Bicep vein popping out.
Why do we? I don't like. Cool, yeah, we get it. He's jacked, but we don't need that. Oh my god! And there's a joke about Wolverine finally having a shirt on, and then in the end, when they're destroying the Time Ripper, Wolverine's suit gets like disintegrated off his chest, like it's just his shirt. So then we finally get to see his like Wolverine body, and Deadpool's like, "Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!" So yeah, that was great. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I can think of right now. Do you have anything else to add, or
I don't think so. Like, I think we covered basically
we covered
everything.
everything.
Yeah.
like we don't want to ruin it for people who are gonna go see the
yeah,
movie?
yeah.
So
Yeah, basically, yeah. But amazing movie. This is definitely, in my opinion, one of the best movies that come out since No Way Home.
yeah, I
I'm
can't.
not gonna
I
lie.
can't think. What,
I
what
can't
else
think of
have
a
we
better movie than this movie right now.
Yeah.
Until No Way Home.
So what movies did we got? No Way Home. So after No Way Home, we got Shang-Chi, Black Widow.
Ooh, yeah, Shang-Chi was good. Not as good as this though.
No,
I would never say that. Nope.
never. Was Eternals after No Way Home?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, fuck that movie,
Eternals.
dude.
Jesus, it should have been in. That's what I was saying. Yeah, we were watching the movie, and like the Void was like forgettable characters. I'm like, where's Eternals?
Yeah,
Where are they
exactly.
at?
Yeah,
I
so
was like,
so
dude, where are they at?
if you haven't seen, I will say that if you haven't seen Loki,
It kind of won't make sense.
watch season 1 at least a little bit. Give it a chance, because the Void is like the setting for like half the movie.
Yeah, basically.
And you won't understand, like, you'll just see characters and be like, this is kind of random. Why are all these characters that I know here?
Yeah.
You need to, it's nice to watch Loki just so that you get an idea of what this place is, who Eliath is.
Yeah, I was gonna say basically like there's like this flying, floating, killing thing, and I'm like, and I don't remember much, so I was like, who the fuck is that? And Nico's
Yeah.
like, it was in Loki. I was like, oh, that's probably why I don't remember.
Yeah, I couldn't explain it to him
because the movie was obviously very
the movie
loud.
was
Yeah,
on. No,
Yeah.
because the movie was on, and I knew something was gonna happen if Eliath was in the movie.
Yeah. I don't think they did much with Goliath, but just overall just killing people. But
No,
that's about
yeah,
it.
no, they. I mean, that's how he was in Loki.
Yeah.
Eliath is literally just feeding on
People
things in the void. But yeah, the void is. It's good to have the void as common knowledge if you watch Loki.
or just at least just look it up, or just look up
Yeah,
things. Yeah,
look up what is the void and who is Eliath in Loki.
yeah.
Season 1. Season 2, season 2 of Loki with like the stringing of timelines and whatnot. We get to see that in Cassandra Nova when she's using the Time Ripper. That was cool to
Yeah.
see. Cassandra Nova, her using her abilities, that was another negative CGI effect because she literally sticks her fingers in people's head and you can see them.
There to be.
Okay, so yeah. The whole Time Ripper thing with Cassandra Nova and her fingers in people's heads is the only negative CGI thing. But it's kind of funny though, seeing her literally fingering people's skulls.
Yeah,
It's hilarious.
And there's one point I think Paradox was like had like a little like mole with Cassandra, because like she had someone was working with him, and he was giving like what's it called?
Oh yeah, Pyro.
Yeah,
Pyro
he
is
was
the mole.
giving like stuff like leaks to Paradox, and eventually she found out, and she's like, "Now we're gonna see what's in your little tiny head of yours." And he was like, "Just ask sometimes, we'll just give you the information. Like you don't have to do all that." That was kind of funny.
So yeah, because her sticking her fingers in people's heads is gross and invasive.
Yeah, and they
so
don't like it either.
Pyro hates it, and he's like, "No, I'll just tell you. You don't have to stick your fingers in my head. I'll just ask sometimes."
Yeah,
Damn.
That was really funny to see.
Yeah,
she was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. She had no idea what she was. She was like,
Yeah.
Oh, that's a thing. Oh, okay. But yes, there's nothing else to add.
Not really. Just overall great movie.
Go see Deadpool and Wolverine.
Go see
it. It is
definitely a must watch.
It's a must watch. You have to see it.
Yeah.
It is, for it to be the only MCU movie we get this year. It is.
It might be.
Definitely.
It
It
might
definitely
be.
lives up to the hype. 100%.
100%.
Go see this movie. Like, go see it with some friends. Don't see it with your girlfriend because frick that.
I don't know. Just go see it with someone. Better experience with someone.
See it with at least 2 other people. Experience it with people.
Yeah. Family, whoever.
Let us know in the
gonna have laughs.
Let us know in the comments what you think about it. Yeah. Trying to think of like a good way to end it.
Speaking of Hugh Jackman being oiled, there was a scene in the last bit of the movie. His suit gets ripped off.
I already said that.
No. And there's like these two characters. I think there's like a lady and the guy that's like always bonding over Deadpool.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh my gosh. And then oh my god. And then the TVA lady agent and Peter.
Oh yeah, B-15 and Peter. Yeah,
Yes.
B-15 sees Peter or Paul, or it is Peter Pool.
Yeah, Peter Pool, and they're just like
and-
staring at each other.
And Peter Pool is freaking a Riz Lord apparently.
Yeah,
And,
love at
and,
first sight.
And B-15's like, you look really good in that suit, and he's like, I know. He plays it so nonchalant.
Yeah, and then Paradox is like, "What is going on here?
What is going on here?"
It was really funny. And she's just like, "You're fired, buddy. Back up yourself." It was really funny. Yeah. Whole movie's just overall hilarious.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 movie. Go see
Definitely
Deadpool
go watch.
Wolverine. Deadpool's Marvel Jesus, but I'm invincible.
MJ, if you're nasty.
Yeah, Deadpool is MJ. I'm trying to think of a good way to end it, bro. What's a good way to end this episode?
Marvel
Funny.
Jesus. He brought back the MCU in a good way. I don't fucking know.
Go see Marvel Jesus.
The Messiah.